Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to draw number 2 of the women's game number 1 tonight from the Wausau Curling Center at the 2023 USA Curling Club Nationals. So tonight's going to be a blockbuster game. We've got the team Jamie Kraus from the Club of Champions, the Duluth Curling Club, and I know they're rocking right now because of the House of Hearts is going on, versus Team Swisshelm from the Detroit Curling Club, and Ann is freshly minted national senior women's champion, and so we're looking for a great event here tonight, Chuck.
I'm looking forward to it. If they do anything like the men did in the first draw, we're going to be in for a good night.
We're going to rock and roll. So thanks for joining us. We have a chat going on if you're watching us on the stream. If you have any questions, throw it up. We're streaming one stream, but we'll update across all the sheets as we can. And we'll try to keep everyone who's interested aware of what's going on with their particular favorites. So just let us know where you are, what you're doing this Thursday night, and thanks for joining us.
Swiss helmets throwing the yellow stones. It looks like they had the hammer for the opening end. They got a couple stones out there already in play.
Yeah, she's got to be, grueling out there, and she was out in Seattle, and her team, Margie Smith's team actually, that she was vice on, won the National Senior Women's Championship, so she's just back at it again here in Wausau.
Is she from Detroit or Michigan originally? Do you know?
That is a good question, and I do not know that. I want to say that she curled in Illinois.
That actually sounds correct. Maybe when she's curling competitively with the Wisconsin team, that was more convenient.
Maybe somebody on the chat knows the answer to that as our chat stream numbers jump up.
That's what we were fishing for.
Nick Cook, you're welcome. Nick's thanking us for getting some WCF pads before the event, so we're happy to help. We didn't have many, but we had enough. So yeah, Team Kraus, Jamie and her teammates came up to me before the stream started and introduced themselves, and two of them are instrumental in the House of Hearts tournament, and they are obviously not there to partake in the fun festivities. So hopefully the people up in Duluth can have a couple drinks for them. I'm sure that won't be a problem. They're also getting socked with a ton of snow.
Stone coming in from the Swisshelm, right? Nice hit and roll to the button. First draw for all these teams, so they're kind of getting their legs, learning the ice, learning the stones.
Which, as far as ice conditions, the ice is fast, and it does swing. We've got 7 feet of curl going on in these early draws. They're playing USCA rocks, and they were textured before the event, and head ice maker, ice tech Sean Olson and his crew have taken over the Wausau Curling Center and done their magic. It's great to have a USCA USA curling event where the ice makers come in and take over the ice, because the club's ice makers benefit from that, and we've benefited greatly from the assistance of Sean. So, just a great thing for the local ice techs to come and watch and learn and participate in making great ice.
Moving up to the third stones here in our first end. Hard to see if those stones are covered by the guard out in front of the house. With the swinging ice, I believe they should be at least be able to get down to those stones. And it just goes past. I like that delivery device.
It's fancy.
Looks very dainty.
It's kind of like a bow and arrow that's broke and twisted.
Sure.
It's the best thing I could come up with.
Sure.
Maybe it's mid-century modern. How about that?
Let's
Throw that in there.
Stone has come down in and remains second count. So the team from Detroit is sitting 2.
I like Minnesota's their uniforms on the back of their jackets. They have a cool loon. Maybe during the stream we'll get a nice close-up of that.
Very Minnesotan.
Yes.
Second time they've gone by. The ice will swing, but when you're coming up weight like that, room has to be in a different spot. Each team's given 38 games or 30 minutes of thinking time. One time out.
I have to think that Ben Levy is watching this stream from his hometown because his wife is on the screen right now. Curling for Detroit. Jenny Levy. There's a good shot at the back of the Minnesota team's jackets.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. Duluth Curling Club.
At least one member is wearing the optional tie-dye.
Never go wrong with tie-dye, I guess.
Kraus Rink is trying to figure out how to handle these 3 yellow stones in the house. There is one guard out in front of that.
Up to 85 on the stream now, Chuck. So watch yourself. Don't make mistakes.
Well, that's the West Coast. We like to welcome our West Coast viewers. Got a couple teams from San Francisco out there, one from Seattle. No Alaska team on the women's side?
No. No. 2 from San Fran, correct. You know, we got the Granite Seattle. We've got, I think you mentioned everyone.
Team from Denver, Mountain Time. They're still going strong at that time.
Yeah, West Coast is always fashionably late. It's like going to a Dodger baseball game. You don't go until what, 4th, 5th inning.
Well,
I don't go to Dodger baseball games, by the way.
I have participated or watched one Oakland A's game in the Coliseum.
Like when? I used to like the A's.
It was the summer of 1989, so that ages me a bit.
So that'd be like Mark McGuire and Tony Canseco and Ricky Henderson, maybe?
It's a long time ago. Don't really remember.
But alas, we're talking baseball, and it's curling season.
They were playing the Detroit Tigers, and I remember Willie Hernandez, not Willie Hernandez, Guillermo
Beats me.
was playing first base, but it wasn't Hernandez.
It'll come to you tomorrow.
Someone from the stream will probably correct us on that. We probably have some Detroit. We probably have some Detroit viewers.
Well, if Gordon McLean was on, he could tell us. But I don't think he is. So, and Team Swisshelm's looking good with 3 rocks counting in the house.
And they own the hammer.
So, a little bit of difficulty here. You can cut them down, you can freeze, but Jamie is up against a tight one here in the first end. Not what she wanted, I'm sure.
They're by the guard.
Okay, no roll.
Well, they got there pretty easily, so I'm assuming Ann can follow that down and remove that for potential 3. I believe the red stone is out counting one of the yellows.
We've got a watcher from Muskegon, Michigan.
Close to my in-laws.
Oh yeah? Up by the bridge?
No, Muskegon is West Michigan.
Is that where the no, that's Ludington. That's where the Badger goes in. And
About 40 minutes south of Ludington.
okay.
So
Oh,
for
is that that's where the high-speed one goes?
Yes, from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So for the Muskegon listener, my mother-in-law is out in Coopersville.
Nice.
Probably not tuning in. I think she got her 3. Nice opening end for the Swisshelm rink out of Detroit.
Yeah, solid 3. It's a great way to start.
Sheet B, the Kono Bug from Granite and Yapple from Chicago. I'm going to slaughter those all night, I believe. They blanked the first end. Steve has got the English language down very well.
I guess I'd say Yapel. Kano and Yapel.
Teams out of Seattle and Chicago.
We've got our hometown berth as a host club. We're able to have a team in the club nationals, and so our team is playing on sheet C.
They just gave up a 3-end to the Smith rink out of Denver.
Okay.
So not a good start for the home team, but the ice probably isn't the same as it was last week.
No, definitely is not the same. You know, and they'll get their jitters out, and hopefully they come back and put some points up on the board. Blank on sheet E. Camarina and Politano out of New York. And sheet F, which is Segovia from the Houston Curling Club. Great to see them up here. And Shoesmith. There's also a Shoesmith on the men's side. Shoesmith is up 1-0 over Segovia.
I have Walsh.
I mean Walsh. Never mind.
It's
Walsh from the San Francisco Curling Club. Another great story because they have dedicated ice out there.
And I don't know if you mentioned sheet 1.
Not yet.
The Hampton rink out of Madison. I believe they're the #1 seed.
And
Wisconsin.
defending champ.
And defending champ. Jumped out to a 1-0 lead over the Bowman rink out of Grand Forks.
Yeah, so Mandy Hampton, it wasn't too long ago. So the first 5 and under Bonspiel was in 2018, early 19, January, up in Duluth. And Mandy had a team up there at the 5 and under Bonspiel. And now, last year she wins Club Nationals, so she's been rocketing up the curling charts.
Steve, do the North Dakota women use the tuck delivery also?
I guess if they want to.
I guess I was implying, is it popular?
Somewhere out there it is. Who's Workin? Evan Workin has a huge tuck delivery. I forget what club he's at. Maybe somebody on the stream can let us know. Well, we got a bunch of chatters on the stream. We got cheering. We've got guy by the name of Mike Carter asked if we were have we been to Dryden lately? Not since
2015?
Good Friday in 2015, I guess.
I'm going with that.
Yeah, and it was dry. And he is from Chicago. Thanks, Tiana. Yeah, that rings a bell.
It does sound very familiar.
Love the chat. Keep the chat going.
It gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, now we're up to 93, so I guess we're pushing into the Asia now. Asia people are jumping on.
Well, Alaska time zone. Hawaii.
Hawaiians are jumping on. If there's some, well, I know we had Howie Fisher and we had Wally Geller, local club guys listening in. If you're out there and away from home, let us know you're listening and critiquing and laughing at us. And if you're up in Duluth partying at the House of Hearts, which is for charity, by the way, let us know that too.
So that event starts on Thursday?
I'm sure people are coming into town on Thursday and getting ready for the weekend if it doesn't start on Thursday, because it's a big deal.
It's kind of like the Last Chance.
Even bigger. I mean, they got big names that go to that. It's like the biggest names. Last Chance is fun, though. I played so I've curled, I don't know, 20-something years, 21, 22. In my, let's say, second or third year, I went up to Hibbing to play the Last Chance. One of those things where you're a new curler and you're not really big into bonspiels because you don't know how to go do it. And local guy Chris Horak and Scott Stenberg, they're like, hey, we need a lead. You want to come? Like, yeah, of course I do. So we go up there. It's like 128 teams. And at that time, we played a team with corn brooms. All of them had corn brooms. So that was fun. Learned how to use that for our advantage. Also played at midnight out on the hockey rink. And by that time, the boards around the hockey rink were all piled with liquor bottles. So that was an eye-opening experience. And we played, I think it was a Canadian team, or else the guy was on their team was Canadian. But he couldn't stand up very well. But when he got in the hack and threw the rock, he never missed. So that was frustrating.
My Hibbing experience was about 5 years ago. I think they were down to maybe in the 90s for the number of teams. So we were out of the club by midnight or so.
Well, they have groupies. They got all kinds of stuff going on out there.
They have live bands, and they sell tickets, entrance to come in for the band.
Yeah.
And
Hang out with the curlers.
hang out with the curlers.
It's because we're cool.
The ladies come, yeah.
So what do we got going on here? We're doing
Couple
Vice Rocks.
Couple Swisshelm stones in the house again.
We're getting warmed up. Another jacket came off. We have a good crowd here for the first draw at 5:30. The second draw here at 9 is thinned out a little bit understandable. But these games are open to the public, so if we have some Wausau area watchers on the stream, you can come on down and watch this, and in person. So feel free to come on down. So $5 will get you in for the day. Or $15 for the whole event. And tomorrow we'll be starting here at 8 o'clock for our first draw. And then we'll be doing another draw at 12, and then 4, and then 8. And tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, so what better time to come down and watch curling? Right, Chuck?
That's what the Irish would do.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
All right, we're going to do our best to keep you updated on scores, but the curling zone glitch that went on in the first draw seemed to be taken care of, and the scores are updating on curling zone now also. So
That's good.
if we're not keeping up, or if you want to see what the actual score is in case we've reported it wrong, they are being updated on a curling zone now in a timely manner.
Well, if we're on top of our game, Chuck, we can be better than curling zone. Just saying.
We should be able to say who's sitting count on each sheet at all times.
Theoretically.
We do not have any spotters out for us.
I see our president, Kim Susans, is yawning as she does her timing. Kim's pulling all kinds of duties here. Just a workhorse. So many people are working hard at this event. All volunteers. All excited about having a national event here in Wausau. And, what can you say? You just do what has to be done, right? You can sleep when you're dead.
Kim is timing this event, but we kind of penciled her in for a fourth end interview sometime during the event.
Oh, we did?
I penciled her in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can she get away from timing to do that?
Probably not this
game?
This game, no. But I'm assuming she's not going to be timing every game.
Mm-hmm. Correct. We're up to 105 people watching right now. That's fantastic. See if we break, we had about 157 during the first draw, the men's draw. And that was a good matchup. We had Elliot Mansell out of Denver versus Justin McBride out of Hollywood. And Elliot Mansell's team walked away with a 6-1. Is it 6-1?
6-2 possibly.
6-2 victory. And that was a number 2 versus 3 matchup. Same as here. Swisshelm is number 2 seed. And Kraus is number 3. It's pure seeding. So the teams kind of rank themselves. Not in exact science, but, it works.
Swisshelm looks like they're sitting 3 again.
Yes, it does look like they're sitting 3 again.
That's Hannah throwing her last stone, yes.
So Jamie might have to throw against 4. We'll see what happens.
At this point, she's got full 8 to draw to, but and I'm assuming he's going to put this stone in a place to make that draw harder, or
Well, you think you go behind that top yellow and sit edge of 4 foot. You're guarded. Make her draw the button.
beautiful shot of the USCA curling stone coming in.
Did we talk about that?
We talked that they were using USCA curling stones.
Okay, good.
But
They're beautiful rocks.
beautiful rocks. They
Common green, Elsa Craig common green with blue hone inserts.
should be very lively. So it looks like she's got a good piece of the house yet to come down to.
Hey,
touch
Mike
white plus a few inches.
let's ask Mike Carter how the potatoes are today. Are they still growing?
Yeah, I'm sure they're out planting in the snow and rain.
It is raining. Raining here in Wausau. 10 inches of snow a couple days ago, and today rain.
I think Mike Carter really should come down and do some commentary for us.
I think he's afraid.
He would be a fabulous commentator. And you out there in TV land or streaming land would have the pleasure of not hearing us.
All right, so here's the hammer. Let's see what Jamie's doing here. Oh, no.
Oh, she's on top of the guard.
Oh,
She's maybe going to count the biter. Maybe 3. Looks like another 3.
Yeah, that's what I would say, too. They're looking at it close, though. Must be.
It is close. The
They're-
cameras are
They're
fairly centered.
calling for a measure.
The cameras are fairly centered, but that measure would be for the 4th stone
Yep.
for the Swisshelm rink.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a tough one. Not what they wanted. But it's good for Ann, you know. Detroit's off to a blazing start. At least 6-1, or 6-0, maybe 7. You can see Ann out there right now. She's coaching. She's doing what she loves.
On sheet B,
Kano versus Yapel.
yeah, kind of scored 2, it looks like. So they are to a 2-0 lead over Yapel.
And if we pronounce this wrong, throw it in the chat. We'd rather get it right. Mike Carter says he'll be here in 30 minutes, and then he says, I'll come visit this weekend. So
Excellent.
he's wishy-washy.
Looks like red held them to the 3.
Thanks, Kathleen Justice. We're more than happy to do some streaming. We thought it was important for us to stream Club Nationals, and we're looking for a long-term solution for the club, but we couldn't get that done. And we're utilizing our local Wausau Public Access, Wausau Area Access Media, and they do a good job. They set up for us for our, we do the state high school championships, and we're more than happy to get a stream out. Unfortunately, it is just one stream per draw, but like I said, we'll keep everyone who's interested updated across all the sheets. You must be from Seattle if you're cheering for Seattle.
Our club hosts the Wisconsin State High School Bonspiel every year, 16 boys and 16 girls teams. Then earlier in the year, we host the largest high school Bonspiel in the United States,
Probably the world.
probably the world, the TG, and our
Named after one of our, longtime ice tech, longtime math teacher, longtime coach at Wausau West.
Dennis TG. It is not a memorial Bonspiel.
Nope, it's not.
He still is.
He wanted us to make sure that we knew that it wasn't.
And that event can hold. Each side has got probably 20 to 30 teams in it, so
it's huge. It's fun. Fun seeing all those kids out there on the ice.
It's a large pool of young curlers, and that's always been my wish is that the pool gets very large. So we have a large pool, and let that talent percolate up to the competitive level and the club level.
Yep. I see. So Ann put her rock in the rings. And she scored, it was 3. Measured. And
yep.
Jamie slips into the house. Good shot at skips there. Out and a flop. I have a feeling that the Kraus team must be like really free-spirited picking the tie-dye. Must be like fun to hang out with. How's that?
I think they look fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
Most curling teams look fun to hang out with. I think we've spoke about that.
Well, right. I mean, curlers are the best people in the world. I mean, that's a given. So I suppose any team would be fun to hang out with. Unless they're not.
Then they won't be at the table after the game.
Right. They'll just leave. Like, bye. And then you hang out with your team.
So, Steve, Muskegon's over here.
Perfect. Yeah, okay.
Using Ann's map on the back of her jacket as a...
If only we had a telestrator.
We do not have a telestrator.
Or a freeze frame. And a telestrator. Because you could have diagrammed where that was for everyone. Not just me. But now I know. Not by that card. So the ice is kind of befuddling Jamie, I think, a little bit.
I think the team out of Duluth will get their feet underneath them sometime this week. And,
oh, sure. For sure.
Rattle a few teams.
And looking pretty happy strutting around back there. And who wouldn't be when you're up 6 to nothing?
And seem to be controlling the front of the house. Kind of a grouped wall.
Yeah, definitely.
Which they may be adding to.
Yep. Got a Kano fan. Casey cheering for Kano. I think we got a few people out in Seattle jumping on, and maybe they're at the club. I don't know how. So, tell me, Casey, does how long does your season go out there? For us here in Wausau, our season's over, and shortly after this event, maybe about a week later, we'll turn the compressors off and be done and play golf until October.
I don't know if we'll be playing golf in a week.
No, no.
It's still a winter wonderland here in central Wisconsin. Although, as we mentioned in the first draw, it was in the 40s today with some light rain. But winter and snow will be back.
My roof is happy for the rain and warm weather. Kind of lightens the load.
Yeah, it was a Tahoe area in California that had a little.
Oh yeah, that was
snow.
crazy. Look at this rock coming in behind the wall.
Oh. We didn't know that they had a stone back behind the wall.
Yeah, Tahoe area. Just nuts. I don't know how much they had. It was crazy. You know, Chuck, we talked about it in the first draw, the benefits and the useful tool of timing the stone. And we both agreed that we don't do that, but we love having somebody on the team that
I love curling with a good timer.
that can do it for us. Because we're old school and we like to play by feel, but we understand the value of timing. So, you know, you see everyone out here timing the stone. And truthfully, it's something that I want to do. I just don't take the time to do it.
Timing their stones, opponent stones. I see people timing other sheets.
Yeah, well, sure.
Well, you come out there and the other sheet is ahead of you, and there's been not a stone thrown on your sheet. And
it's like they're confused if they don't have something to time. They're just walking around timing stuff. Like, how long did it take you to drink that sip of beer you just took? I mean, water. Water. Curlers don't drink beer, right? What do we got here?
It's just like the Johnny Carson set.
Mike Carter's noticing a ton more curl than quote-unquote normal Wausau ice. And Mike is right.
Mike, they're using USDA curling stones that have been freshly sharpened.
Textured.
Textured.
It's not sharpening, it's textured. Which basically gives it a little scratchiness on the bottom. Something to grip onto that pebble. So Mike, you're very observant. How about more discussion about possible strategy or options and description of play? Please focus on the game. Well, MJ, you know, this is our second time doing this, and we're definitely not going to get into the weeds on strategy.
We are club curlers. I've watched a fair amount of competitive curling. And we have basically the same view that you guys are seeing. The game we are watching is 3 to 4 sheets to our left. So we do not get to see lines, and we cannot really actually see where guards are in relationship to stones in the house.
All valid points.
I think she should throw up another guard.
Well, you know, and sitting 3 again. Oh,
one.
no,
She's
sorry.
sitting 1.
Yeah. That red blended in with the white.
It's not like sitting on the Timmy Hortons Cup where it gets lost as there as a guard.
Right. Oh, speaking of that, you know, you were up at the Briar. What? We'll save that for a little later.
There's that guard.
That's a long one.
I think they can probably come down and sit on top of the yellow. Front of the house there is probably a nice spot to be, or front of the 4-foot.
Eric wants us to go for the weeds. Well, I mean, clearly, Team Kraus needs to generate points now, and a lot of them. And it's going to be tough against Ann.
A skip's deuce would help, pushing that Yellowstone over and somehow generating 3.
So
would be a lot of work.
Let's see. They're not on it. Is it heavy? Is it wide?
Yeah. Going through. I may be making the wrong assumption, but I figure on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock Central, the people who are watching are probably pretty in tune with the curling game and have their own idea and strategy on what people are going to be doing. But there probably are a few people who aren't understanding what's going on, and we'll try to explain why a certain team might be doing a certain shot or why they're choosing to do something, because that might be interesting and not really make sense to why would they be doing that. So I think she's going to throw up another guard because
just cut down that access into the.
She's sitting 1. If she can score that, although she's through, that looks like a duplicate of the last shot from what Kraus just threw. Scoring points for the Swisshelm team is fine, but not giving up a big end and getting the Kraus rink back into the game is the biggest goal. Looks like she's drawn to kind of use the Swisshelm stone as backer and play down to that and take her 1. Got to start someplace, and that would be her start. Five ends go after this.
So Seattle curls into late June. That's pretty spectacular. So is this hopefully not wide and heavy? Slowing down, but
it's just checking up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful shot. Nice draw. That's going to give her some confidence.
Yeah.
Like I just said, there's 5 ends yet to go, and this game is not over.
Nope. It's not over.
So for the locals, the Wausau team, skipped by Lisa Landon, a longtime Wausau curler, a little stint over in Green Bay, and then returned back to Wausau. Picked up 3 points in the second end and tied the game up. So a little bump to the beginning, but recovered very nicely.
Let's take this opportunity and give a quick update across all the sheets. So sheet A, Bowman versus Hampton. Hampton is now singled in the first, second, and third end, so they're up 3-0 over Bowman. Sheet B looks to be Kano versus Yapel, and Kano is up 3-0 over Yapel. And our hometown.
That's the tie we just mentioned.
That's the tie. Okay, we'll move on to sheet D.
That's
our
us. Feature game.
And then sheet E.
They've had 2 blanks in the
tight, very tight game. Yeah, blank the first and the second end, and then Camarina came back with 1 in the third, and they're finishing up the fourth end here.
The house looks very open. I think they're going to have a blank. Yeah, well, there's plenty of stones yet to play in this.
There are, about halfway through.
But the house is empty at this point for that.
But
sheet.
Look at sheet F. Like every stone, I think, is in play except 1.
Yep, there's a yellow stone against the bumper, and it ended up being a number of
4,
reds.
5, 6.
Unless they pulled a yellow out quick, that was a lot of red stones they just took out of that house.
So Segovia might walk away with a big score here.
And we will see where they hang that. They were behind 4-0.
Oh, and they only had 2.
They only had 2. There must have been a yellow stone that they removed very early.
Because it was like a lot of reds, all the reds. So the score on that would be Walsh from San Francisco 4 and Segovia from Houston Curling Club 2.
And our sheet Kraus has a long guard, and Swisshelm has chose to go into the house over on the wing.
So someone's accusing us of putting cheese curds in the ice and slowing it down, basically.
I drop cheese curds out of my pocket very often when I sweep.
But are they squeaky? Squeaky would make them fast ice, I think. You know, you get the old ones, the aged dry ones, and
the ones that have been in a refrigerator for 3 days.
Yeah,
that's way old.
Well, who keeps them in the refrigerator? They got to be room temperature first of all. How can they be squeaky from the refrigerator?
That's why it's a problem. They may be asking for a measurement to see if the stone is on the house and removable. I assume we're using a 5 guard. Oh, that's not on the house.
No.
Well, Anne was standing in front of it looking down like she was questioning that. I assume we're using the free 5 guard or 5 stone guard, free guard.
Yeah.
And Steve said in the first draw they are using the no tick rule.
Yeah, the trial no tick rule. My tech guy quickly and see what he's got going on.
Are you guys here? You guys are hearing us though?
They must be.
Oh, there it looks like we might have some action.
No, because this is way back when we're talking about that free guard and the tick rule, and then it. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, we're back.
Your screen looks like my screen.
Yep, we're back. We should be good.
All right.
If you all just refresh, you should be good on the stream as far as video goes.
All right, as you can see, they're cleaning the ice on the 5th end break, 4th end break, 8 end game. They like to take the break halfway through.
Oh, our main network went down. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds bad. We're in the backup.
Why we have a backup. The Wausau team gave up 4 in the 3rd end. They've dropped to 7-3 against the Smith Ring from Denver.
But look at sheet E. What a barn burner.
Yeah, they're doing it. Well, there's a lot of stones in the house this end. I don't think it's going to be a blank end.
3 blank ends and 1 score of 1.
The red just scored 2, which on sheet E was the San Francisco team. But there were 7 stones in the house this end, so that end was not going to be a blank. So the team from San Francisco has now jumped up to a 3-0 lead. A lot of stones were guarded. It would have been very difficult to get to the 2 stones that were on the button. sheet A.
Yeah, we can do a across the sheet up.
The Hampton rink from Minnesota, or from Madison, the Wisconsin team, after scoring singles in the first, second, and third, then scored 3 in the fourth. So they're up 6-0 over the Bowman rink from Grand Forks.
Did you do sheet B? Kano and Yapel?
No, I have not talked about sheet B in a while.
All right. So in the fourth end, Yapel got on the board with a deuce, and so they're down by 1, 3-2. Yeah, 3-2 Kano over Yapel.
And the Houston-San Francisco sheet F is all tied up at 4 at the fourth end break.
That's a good game. So Bill Stopera must be coaching the Politano rink from New York, Ardsley. That's why I saw him here. Oh, sure. So, well, maybe they didn't hear us because Mike Carter's wanting you, Chuck, to discuss the no-tick rule.
The no-tick rule.
It's a trial. It's not like
It's
an
a
actual
trial, and they're using it in Canada also. And players have got so good, the ice conditions have become so consistent that if the team without the hammer, I guess it doesn't matter what team has the hammer, places a guard in front of the house in the free guard zone, that any portion of that stone is touching the center line, the opposing team cannot remove that or bump it off of the center line. The goal there is again to generate more action, I assume, Steve, and
yeah,
and hopefully make the game more interesting instead of opening it up. Some have been complaining, or one argument is that it's a penalty to someone who can make a very good shot, and then others are very much a favorite because it makes the game more interesting. I haven't followed it that closely. There were some other proposed rules that I was very much against. I can't remember what those are right now, but I don't think they have gone into play. One of them I thought was really silly and was not going to improve the game of curling at all.
Do you remember what it was?
No, I can't. There were between seasons, so this would have been last summer when I was reading about that. And we obviously didn't implement them at the Wausau Curling Club, so they drifted off the memory. Somebody on the stream might remember some of the proposed rules that were going to be trialed.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you say that, I do remember one that was really kind of crazy, but I cannot remember it either. That's, I guess, how crazy it was. But yeah, so it wasn't, the WSF didn't implement it, so USA Curling didn't implement it, and so we did not implement it. All just proposals. And those usually come from WCF committees.
World Curling Federation. All right, we have resumed play on sheet D here at the Wausau Curling Club. This is the 2023 USCA Club Curling Championships.
And for those that have held on in this stream, it is the Swisshelm rink from Detroit, Great Lakes Curling Association, against Jamie Kraus and the Minnesota Curling Association.
The rink out of Duluth.
Out of Duluth. So everyone up there at the House of Hearts cheering on Jamie and her team. They need to cheer louder and stronger. And hopefully this the last 4 ends can turn the tide.
Well, there's an uncommon air from the Swisshelm rink. I can't say the Kraus rink has thrown many airs. It's just that they have not had things work or go their way.
No little missed ice reads. Little overthrow here and there.
But they're gonna get their footing, understand this ice, the stones, and maybe be playing on Sunday. Steve, do you know how the playoffs work? It looks like there's a semifinal, so I assume the two top teams out of each pool will go into the semifinals, and then the top team from one pool will play the second place team from the other pool.
You know, I have not seen how that's going to happen. There are, 12 men's teams in two pools and 12 women's teams in two pools. So what you said makes sense, but I haven't seen that actual scenario put on paper, I guess.
The schedule is set up for just a semifinal and a final after any needed tiebreakers on Sunday. I don't believe it's going to be a page playoff type of format.
No.
Because then we'd have different draws.
Yeah, then we'd have probably a couple more games.
So that'd be my assumption. Team 1 of Pool A will play Team 2 of Pool B, and vice versa. And there will be a bronze medal game. So if you make it to Sunday, you'll be playing 2 games, unless you are eliminated in a tiebreaker in the morning. All right, Kraus rink is coming around the guard, coming down to the yellow stone, sitting 1 behind cover. They do own the hammer. This would be a time to hopefully put a very crooked number up on the board.
To use some Bob Uecker baseball terminology.
I think he's back for his 58th season.
175th year for Bob. But he is so awesome. Carter's text, he probably texted you too.
Yeah, I kept on asking if you could hear us, and I didn't get those texts back. But Steve is a 5th on our Wednesday night team. He's got his own teams, but he graciously subs in when we need him. And
Well, that's because we used to play together, and then
Bonspiel together.
And then I left, and you're like, "Hey, can you at least be 5th?" I'm like, yeah.
I told him there would be no commitment for playdowns because we're not going to qualify. But my Wednesday night team has been chiming in here also. Kraus is still sitting 1.
With 2 Swisshelm stones very close. As 2 and 3.
A couple guards out in front up there now, but the 4-foot is open. Did you see what it was called, Steve? Looks like guard weight.
Well, it looked to me like just a draw into the house.
Oh, nope, yep, she's coming to the house. Bumps things around a little bit, but may have moved yellow into Count Rock. close from our vantage point, same vantage point you have on TV.
Yeah, that's close.
I say TV because I'm a person who likes to cast it to the big screen and sit on the couch and watch.
Yeah, so is it TV or is it just your laptop? What is it? Is your TV then a big laptop?
What if I do it from the desktop?
Oh, wow, you're old.
We have a desktop at our house. My wife loves it. I use it periodically. The printer hooks up very nicely to a desktop.
By cables?
Yes.
Well, Chuck, we have to talk.
You didn't see him coming talking to me to see how to get the stream going again.
True.
Hey, if your gamers are out there, you know cables are probably best. I'm not a gamer.
Do you still have a landline? Yeah?
I'm nodding my head yes.
Well, you know what? So do we. Why? I have no idea.
We like telemarketers.
I'm on the no-call list. I don't get a lot. Political stuff a lot. But. All right, so we're down to Skips Rocks. What can Jamie Kraus do to get more than one? Or maybe. I don't know.
Depending on where Ann puts the stone, she could draw in behind those stones behind the 4-foot and make it a little bit harder for her to take them out on Ann's last shot, and then have a open draw for 2 or maybe 3. That'd be the perfect scenario. And Ann is going to just tap the one stone up, and well, I wish I was on the big screen so I could maybe see whose stones were count here. Players are also deciding which are what. Well, they tap that stone on the top of the 4-foot, so I'll trust them that that might be the shot rock. Crow still has 4-foot to draw to, though. Bringing the yellow stone or the other red stone into count may be more difficult at this point, though.
It almost seems like that second yellow one is count right now.
Again, I think our cameras are fairly centered, but
And if you can see me, I'm really close to the screen, trying to see how.
the Kraus runk did tap the stone on the top of the house, like.
The first yellow one?
Mm-hmm. One the closest to the center line.
I almost think the second one is, but either way, it's not red, apparently.
And I don't think there's anything good about removing them or pushing them through to try and make more stones count. I think she's going to have to go for her skips deuce, and if for some reason that other one is hanging on, great. And when you're down by 7, you got to hope that the other skip has an air.
Jamie's first stone.
They're watching it.
No sweeping.
It doesn't appear heavy, but
No sweeping now.
they've decided to wait on it.
If anything, it's legs.
They may have waited for it to break. I think it's going to be yellow now, 1 and 2. And Ann looks like she's going to block off the path of the 4-foot. If you weren't with us on our first draw in Wausau, Wisconsin, we have a 8-sheet club here. First year curling was in 2012. And if you're ever in the area, stop in.
Somebody named Diana Miller must be on the stream and commenting about how
Our technology at our house.
yeah, old school.
We have 2 smart TVs in the house,
How smart are they?
and they are hooked up by Wi-Fi, not by cable.
Nice.
And we have a Chromecast on our other TV, which is very, very nice for casting curling.
Well, you need that.
I probably only watched about 100 hours of curling in the last 4 weeks. From the
Some of it in person up at the Briar.
some of it in person at the Briar, but the Scotty is in the Briar. I think this is fairly light.
It's going to settle in nice, I think, if she wants it.
I think she's still going to have her draw to the 4-foot.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
you give up the hammer in the 5th end.
Right.
But she does not want to give up 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to pull her draw weight out. No choice.
Yep. Pick the spot where you place the broom and red plus 4 inches and you're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stones in play with 1 to go. I think she puts this on the button. That'll build some confidence for her, if not for this game, but for the rest of the week. Her eyes look confident coming out.
Well, she needs it, so let's see what she can do here. They're on it now. They're looking and getting harder and harder. Can she do it? Can she get past? Yeah, I think she did. No, she didn't. Oh, no.
We think it's 2.
And hands are out.
After 6 ends, it's the handshakes. And
Well, Ann Swisshelm from Detroit and her team come away with a big win on Sheet D tonight.
I think the final 10-1. Yep. The Kraus rink is not going to roll over for the rest of the tournament. They're going to be tough to play against. We can try to give a quick update on the other sheets before we sign off. On sheet A,
Yeah, let's do a quick update. It's across the sheets.
the Bowman rink from Grand Forks did score 1 in the 5th, but still trail 5-1.
Over Mandy Hampton from Wisconsin.
Yep,
Sheet B would be the Kano versus Yapel. And Yapel in the 5th scored 3. So she's now up 5-3 over Kano. Playing the 6th end.
Which sheet are you looking at?
B.
Oh, someone's standing in front of that number. The host rink, Wausau, who is playing on sheet 3, RC, did score 1 in the 4th to draw within 3 at 7-4 against the Smith rink from Denver. And they are also in the 6th end.
You know, sheet E is just a barn burner. Camarina. Where's Camarina is out of
San Francisco.
San Francisco versus Politano out of Ardsley. They have blanked 4 ends, the first, the second, the fourth, and the fifth. One scoring end, the third end was Camarina, scored 1. So it's still 1-0, playing the 6th end.
Oh, I apologize earlier when I was talking about stones in the house and they were not going to break that end. I was watching that live and was looking at the wrong sheet. That was sheet F, the team from Houston and San Francisco. That game is 7-4 in the 6th end in favor of Team Segovia from Houston over Welsh from San Francisco. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us here at the Wausau Curling Club for the club national championships. Tomorrow morning we'll be back at 8 o'clock.
They switched over to that.
Oh.
We could stay with this for a little bit.
We can. They told us we can do it. But this is the game. If you saw the scoreboard there, a lot of blanks.
So this is Ardsley versus San Francisco. And this is the barn burner. And it looks like with a few rocks left, what do they got? Is this the hammer? This is the hammer coming down in the 6th end. And it looks like, what, you remove red and you score 2 if you nose red?
Possibly. That could be a breakout shot for a defensive game like this.
Right. Oh, I wondered if I'd get any questions about my Stormy Cromer. So Nick's asking, where's my Stormy? I have it. It's in the truck. I happened to get a haircut the other day, and I like my haircut, and I haven't worn any hats lately. And it's a nose hit, and for 2.
Nose hit for 2 to give them the lead. The lead 2-1 over the.
Yeah, so Politano pulls ahead 2-1 over Camarina. We'll start the 7th shortly. I'll pull the Stormy out during some time when I have messy hair, and be like tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. For those of you who don't know what a Stormy Cromer is, it's probably the best curling hat there is. It's one of those. It's got a little tie in the front. It's not the Elmer Fudd, but it's got a little tie in the front, and it's a great place to put your curling pins. Keeps your head warm. Wool.
Manufactured into the UP.
In the UP, yeah. So Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Just across the border from Hurley.
Yep.
Wisconsin.
I know the owners. They're a great family.
Little trivia. What former Wausau curling member was the Stormy Cromer Person of the Year?
Wait, what? No. We had one of those? Who was that?
Let's see if someone can write in on that.
Stormy Cromer Person of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the same one who went to clown school?
Yes, it is.
That rings a bell.
Ms. Mavey.
Yes.
In her profile, though, she also, on the Stormy Cromer website, if they still would have that up,
Forgot about that.
she was listed as a coach of a high school curling team, state champion high school curling team.
Yeah.
And she was, along with her very prolific Jim Wendling.
Yes. In the shadows and the wings of Jim Wendling.
And my daughter was on that team.
Trisha?
Trisha. Mm-hmm.
for those who have stuck with us on the stream, we're going into extra coverage just because we can and because it's such a good game. We're on sheet E. We're picking up on the Camarina versus Politano, so San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club versus Ardsley. So coast to coast, really, here we got going on. And it's 2-1. Ardsley over San Francisco Bay Area. Playing the 7th end. Looking still like it's like they want it. I was gonna say clean, but there's really not enough rocks left out there yet.
The New York rink has a long guard, which just got tapped.
Did that tap off the center, or was that off center to begin with?
That was off center.
Okay.
So there's no free guard, or
no tick rule.
No tick rule. I say center line guard rule, tick rule.
You know, the more we can comment on tick rules, the better we sound.
Did anybody comment on any of the other rules that were proposed that maybe were not accepted by the World Curling Federation?
Nope. Nobody's going there. But Long Island Curling Club and Queens, New York in the house. Awesome.
How's it going?
So I saw, was it Grant Park? Not Grant Park. What's it called? What's that park? Bryant Park had some curling going on in New York City. Not on the ice, it was artificial system, but still, anytime you get curling going on in the city, that's very cool.
20 years ago, they tried to curl on the skating rink at Rockefeller Center. I remember watching that. Maybe it wasn't quite 20 years ago. Maybe it wasn't quite that long ago.
But that was
I was watching, thinking this is something else.
That was Pete Fenson.
Yep. It was raining. It was a disaster. But it made good TV. The rink from New York just came in behind the guard.
Are they buried?
I'm sure it looks like a little bit of the stone is peeking out.
From here it looks pretty close. Oh, there we go. Little peak, maybe.
Yeah, the teams have been playing here. They know what the ice might be doing out there. Looks like it actually. I thought it was peeking out the other side, and they're obviously deciding they can get to it better this way.
So this near-end camera is the closest to that sheet.
Or maybe they were just going to split the guard onto the house and open it up for later.
Yeah.
And that may have been their thoughts.
There's a Wausau Club member, Ryan Mahalis, a Canadian from Thunder Bay, doing some officiating. He's pretty proud. He finished up his level 2.
Trying to carve it straight. And successful holds. Looks like they're pretty flat. And Camarina has the hammer at this end.
Sure, the vice for Politano is Megan Stupera, so that would be Bill's daughter.
Trying to hold that line, but it takes out this red stone and rolls out. A lot of the sheets have finished their sixth then now. On sheet A, the Bowman rink from Grand Forks has scored back-to-back singles, but they're still trailing. Oh, they scored 2 in the fifth, so they were trailing 6-3 now to the Hampton rink out of Madison.
Sheet B is tied up though. Kano versus Yapel, 5-5.
In the Smith Landing rink, Wausau versus Denver. Denver scored another 1 in the fifth, and they're now ahead 8-4. And they are in the.
I have to think the 6 is about to get hung.
Yeah, they're in the sixth end. There's still a stone in the hack down there. That game is a little bit behind the other games.
Kind of a big takeout.
Back to our new feature game. See if they can move some stones. Move and roll over to the other one.
Just
gonna
missed
slide
the double.
Slide behind it. I had mentioned when they were sitting there, they looked pretty flat, but they were certainly going to go for it and touch the stone, but slid behind, leaving it in the 8-foot.
Look how fast Tim got his graphics up there. I didn't notice actually.
Mm-hmm.
Great job, Tim. Thank you.
Tim Newmeyer is running our board and doing the graphics and controlling the cameras. He's a veteran of.
Tucker brought up the, I think what I was thinking about. So there was talks about losing the hammer on blank ends.
That was it.
Yep.
That was the one I did not think made much sense. Thanks, Tucker.
Yep. Because, yeah, it's like, wow. Tucker FTW.
Yeah, I just think the blank end and retaining hammer is a traditional and strategic part of the game. Stone here is gliding through the house. So Camarina went out. They own the hammer. They no longer have the house split. And Politano is going to probably take out the other stone, making the 2 much more difficult for her. There's a good example of timing. She looked at her watch, threw it down to her hip, and started sweeping like crazy. Although that sweep was probably for line. Communication on the team is very important. Or the person delivering the stone has the best feel of where the stone is going, their general feeling of their weight, general feeling of their line, and if they communicate that to the sweepers right away, they can react and sweep accordingly. So left the stone there. I'm not, with that broom, I don't think she's going to try a freeze and still try to generate a 2. These 2 teams seem to be very happy with blanking ends and moving forward. And bringing her hammer into the 8th. sweeping a little bit to hold the line, it looks like. Looks like she may roll out, but that only gave up the chance of the hit and stick. Team from New York looks to be a young team. You said it was a daughter of
Bill
Bill
Stapera.
Stroh.
Yep.
Are they? Where does he live? Bill?
Well, in New York somewhere.
New York. Okay.
I remember Bill from when I was on the USDA board. He was on the Athletes Advisory Council.
And his son's a competitive curler also.
Yep. So the curling family. That's another thing that makes curling great. You can curl as a family.
The Briar this year had 6 sets of brothers in the event.
Wow.
6 sets of brothers. Some on the same team, some on opposite teams.
Well, I thought it was. I mean, it was a heartbreaker to see, brother against brother in the final, but and to see them together afterwards, hugging with their dad.
And they had curled together for so long together.
Well, if you saw the news, Gushu pulled Harnden on for like an alternate to go off to Worlds.
Who are they bringing in?
Harnden.
Oh, so the Harnden.
Yeah, they're reunited.
Oh, I thought you said he pulled him.
Well, pulled him off of.
Okay. From juniors up, and then
Jacobs ring.
On the Jacob, and this year curled on different teams, and both their teams made it to the final, the Briar. And now they get to curl together in Worlds. And the men's Worlds are in Canada, I believe.
Are they really?
The women's are in Norway. Someone out there probably will let us know.
Tucker will let us know.
They'll be coming up in the next few weeks.
So, they blanked the 7th end. Head to the 8th end. 2-1. Politano over Camarina.
But Camarina has the hammer in the 8th end. She has not scored a deuce. There's only been one of those in the game. But this would be a great time to do that for her.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blank ends. Who's going to flinch? Women's is in Sweden. Sandviken, Sweden. And the men's is in Ottawa.
And who are we sending, Steve?
To where?
Worlds.
Which one?
Women's, men's?
Oh. You caught me off guard now, Chuck. Let me think.
Tabitha is
Peterson.
Peterson is the women's, I believe,
Yeah.
and I believe the ever popular Schusterink.
Yeah, of course.
All right, your friendly announcers have all the information.
Now my brain's trying to go back to those games and replay those.
Yeah, Politano would love to force one and take the hammer and an extra end or steal.
Thanks, Jazz XX159 for that information.
Ottawa, that's correct.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun to go to Ottawa.
It's a little more than 11 hours. London, Ontario, where the Briar was 11 hours from Wausau.
You go through Detroit.
Through Detroit on the way over, and then back across to the crossing to the north on the way home.
Yep.
Down through Flint and Lansing.
Sweden would be a little harder to get to that way, but maybe through Greenland, up and around.
I think the North Sea is still open. All right, they're coming around the guard. Politano would love to steal. That would give them a 3-1 win.
You know, I want to say that what do I want to say? There's one junior curler in the event this year, and I think it's Stopera. Could be wrong.
In the event we're covering.
In the whole event. There's only one. There's one junior curler in the whole event.
Men's and women's side.
Yeah.
Probably not surprising on a club curling. The junior curlers, although they probably curl league nights with people, are got their teams and their competitions. Oh, I did not see. Was that a tick? Because that stone did not go out of play from what I could tell. I think it was still in play. Yep.
My stream.
Well, we're at the second stone for the Politano rank.
Yep. So that's where it's replaying.
They have a stone in the house with a guard out in front. And it looks like they are probably they're going to come around their guard too. And freeze against their stone in the top of the 12. So they've got two stones in the 12 foot. Oh, and our stream is back, it looks like. Good. There seems to be room to come around the yellow stone that was on the center line. And that was their plan last time, but unfortunately they ticked it and it went back. This also looks like it might be narrow.
They're on it early.
They're on second. Oh, nope, they came around. Got rid of one stone and knocked the other one out into the open.
And that looks like a biter. Yep, definitely.
That little biter hanging up there, yep, she's going to go for it. She does not want that to be their second point and give up 2 and lose the game. So I'm going to say very smartly, getting rid of the red stone that's on the house, and you don't end up that being the second point in the game winner.
They want it swept hard all the way. Ooh, and it's off.
Don't look up! I just like looked up and I'm like, wow.
Are they deciding to freeze or play down to the guard? Was that her options?
See Coach Bill Stopera thinking hard.
Don't know if any team has called a timeout in this game yet. If they have not, I would assume to see them called in this end. Not sure what they've decided on yet. I don't know if they can cut across the face of the stone and guard behind their own stone. Or be hidden behind their own stone.
It looks on the overhead. Well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, looks like there's room to do that. Stone looks like it's curling, but they have plenty of ice. If you wanted nothing, they take their guard and they're in front of the house. It works as a guard, and they could hit and roll off that. I thought maybe Politano would
Put
take.
one on the other side?
Yeah, I thought maybe she'd take that guard. Not only is it a guard, but it's also a nice stone that can be tapped up or used later in the end, too. Thought it was a dangerous stone they might want to get rid of. Sweepers feel like the weight is there, and they don't need a sweep.
It's pretty deep.
Probably going to go a little deeper than what they wanted. But we'll hang around for second count. I think she's going to take advantage of that hit and roll right now. Not sure if she's planning to roll behind the guard or way over to the other yellow stone. Or,
Well, rolling to the back Yellowstone, that'd be a
well, she put the broom over there once, but now it looks like she's going to try to raise her stone in. Not sure if this is an angle run back. Not sure if she needs to do that at this point of the end, but
well,
that's
and
what she's chose to do.
but that could possibly split on.
Well, it's an angle run back, so the shooter is going to roll towards the center line. I don't know if it's going to go in the house. And she
That-
loses the run back
red.
stone. Yeah,
Ooh,
she rolled the shooter on, and
it's close on that one. I think it might have rolled out.
I think it may have rolled out also. Also, very good idea.
Yeah.
If she completes that shot and that stone is on the house, sitting two, would really put the pressure on the Palatano rink then.
Yeah, especially with Camarino having hammer.
Very-
Time out.
Very good shot.
Yeah.
It may be close or it may be made. I think her cameras are 14 feet or so above the house, so there is a little bit of an angle there. So seeing white does not necessarily mean it's not on the house, but I think we're seeing probably too much white.
Yeah, I would agree.
Excellent shot, excellent try, and
Obviously, great strategy, great shot making.
that stone can still be used later to freeze down on, and might be trouble for Palatano rink to get out. A couple of those girls look like they could compete at the junior level.
Yeah. Maybe it's the teen. I don't know. I'll check on that.
The Scoville via Welch game has had a lot of stones in play.
Almost every end.
Almost every end.
And this end is no different. I see maybe one stone, two stones, three stones maybe out of play.
So I'm not sure what the Palatano rink decided to do. They're coming with
Well,
Like
oh,
draw-
she's coming out of the house to sweep.
draw a guard weight.
I never think that's effective, but oops, sorry. Some skips just feel the need. Setting up a guard. Center line's pretty well guarded.
I think the yellow stone or the red stone is still
Over curled.
accessible.
Yeah. I think, well,
One's on one side of the center line. One's on the other side of the center line.
Not really. They're both on left side of center line. But I think the second one there over curled and left the back yellow exposed, and that's what they'll go after, I think.
I think so. And this shot, she takes care of the yellow stone. Hopes
It's
that
interesting
they.
where she sets up, though. I would think I would stand behind that yellow rock, but to me right now it looks like they're drawn. And now she'll go back behind yellow rock.
Sweepers seem content to let the stone go. Now they're trying to guard the line a little bit.
Hit stick.
And
Out.
tap that all the way through. Been nice if they would have left a little bit of backer there. Oh,
Is there a time
yeah,
issue?
there is a time issue. They're at 15 seconds unless they've called timeout.
15 seconds to throw two rocks, or what are you talking about here?
Well, her clock. Oh, there must be a timeout.
No, they got a lot. They got a lot of time. No time issue.
Yes. 3 and 5 minutes of time left on both clocks, so time is not an issue. They must have called the timeout, though.
All right, let's see. Altano's first rock.
It's going to curl in behind cover. Take it a bite of the forefoot.
T-line.
I think the Camarena rink is going to have to chase that. I think they got by the guard with a lot of room that they could get to the inside and still roll behind cover onto the forefoot. Balance of room placement and weight.
So, looking across the sheets, there's some big scores going up.
It looks like the Wausau rink has conceded the Landon rink to the Smith rink from Denver.
Yeah. All right.
Stone is on the way. Sweep and hold the line a little bit.
Sweeping harder. Want to hit and roll. Want to get the inside edge. Got the
Yeah.
outside edge.
Yep, that's why they were trying to hold the. Must have been maybe a little wide and heavy out of hand. Leaves the other stone in the back house as a free take.
Well,
How are they drawing?
It's Politano's last shot, and she's got to make it count.
Yeah, otherwise they are sitting two, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, she's actually has to draw in behind, I believe. If she does a straight take, the 2 would be there
For the win.
yeah.
Pretty smooth. All right, they're on it. They're both on it. Does it have enough? Does it have enough?
Oh, looks a little light.
Does it have enough?
Keep sweeping. They're sweeping. They're
Pass
sweeping.
the
It's a little bit
guard.
light.
Past the guard.
Onto the house. They're going to count something.
They're behind cover now,
Wonderful sweep.
and they're touching
Whoa.
4 foot. Beautiful. So now what do? You got to run that angle.
They're lining up.
Don't care if it sticks. You got 2 sitting in the house right now.
Um,
Just want to get rid of yellow.
we're-
Oh well, that's true. That's not. We don't know, but that's probably not. But yeah, you're right.
We think we need that to stick. The shooter is not going to roll on the house in this one.
Well, you hit it right and you stuff it.
Got to stuff it.
It's not easy.
They didn't take much time deciding what they needed to do.
Yeah, I think it's the only shot.
Last Politano shot was very nice.
Yeah, it was.
Exactly what you need to do. Skinny the guard, perfect weight.
Here it comes. No hesitation. A little sweeping.
Maybe it's close. And it's maybe over curling. She got an angle on it. Touch it. Oh, it just went past.
Just missed. Just missed.
Wow.
Great
That was a game.
Great attempt at that shot. Great game. Great shot making. 5 blank ends. Final.
3-1.
Politano picks up 1 in the 8th. 3-1 over Camarino from San Francisco. Fantastic. Way to finish the night.
Man.
With a shot of Ryan Mahalis.
Very stoic.
Oh, let me get that. See if we can, don't move that.
All right. Well, we'll be back again at. We'll be back again at 8 in the morning. I believe we have a men's draw in the morning.
Missed it again.
And
I can rewind this though.
the you can go full screen on it, rewind it. Who do we have in the morning, Steve?
We'll be back here at 8 in the morning, and
Here it is.
Yep.
Looks like we have Johnson out of Alaska, Fairbanks Club, and Faribault out of Minnesota.
yeah, on the men's side, and then we'll do 12 o'clock draw. We'll do Kano out of the Seattle Granite Club versus Smith out of Denver on the women's side, and then a 4 o'clock draw. We'll do Turner out of Columbus versus Tate out of the Coyotes Curling Club, and we'll finish up with an 8 o'clock draw with Wisconsin versus Wisconsin, Hampton versus our Wausau host birth team, Landon. So we'll finish up on St. Patrick's Day with a Wisconsin on Wisconsin.
Hey, thanks for staying with us at the Wausau Curling Club and the USCA Curling Club Championships for 2023.
Until tomorrow, we're sliding out of here.
Okay, Cal.
Thanks, everyone.